Did you self-teach yourself all this stuff, Sean?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a painful. I've been doing it for like 9 years now. It's like I did not set out to, have any kind of a YouTube anything. I just was bored.
Just kind of
And I
happened.
wanted an outlet for a hobby, and so
Sure.
I uploaded some videos on YouTube. And the next thing I knew, actually, a couple years went by, and I'm like, I've got 5,000 subscribers, but I didn't even think of anything, And another couple years went by. I'm like, wait a second, I'm at 17,000 subscribers. Well, maybe I should pay attention to this a little
Maybe
bit.
something's happening.
Yeah,
Right?
and then the next I'm like, all right, well, let me try to. So I tried to at that point improve what I was doing, and I've continued to try to do that, and I've realized too, like, even when you try, it's hard to succeed.
For sure.
And I feel very blessed by God actually that I'm like about to hit 75,000 subscribers, and I just feel like, wow, thank you.
It's his plan, not
Yeah,
ours.
exactly. So anyway, here we are. We are in the process of conversing here, but let's pause. So I'm Sean McVeigh with Sean's Outdoor Adventures. Today I'm at Xpedition, and Kurt, you're the plant manager. What's your title? I don't even actually. I'm sorry that I didn't get that information in advance.
And
That's my bad.
we don't even care about
Yeah,
titles per
yeah.
se, but my business card would state vice president.
Vice President.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
here we go. Well, hey, I'm sitting next to the VP.
Ooh.
Woohoo! So thank you. Here today because I actually just did a whole series of bow reviews, and I'll put links to those videos. But I just wanted to sit down and chat with you for a couple minutes. I actually started shooting expeditions maybe 5 years ago. I can't remember the exact year. It wasn't long after I heard of them that a friend of mine was like, "You got to try this bow."
Sure.
So I bought one, and I actually bought it used online, and I tuned it up in like 3-4 shots, and I was like, whoa, that was the easiest tune job I've ever experienced. And it really comes from the way that Xpedition has built these bows. And so anyway, I have liked them for a long time, and then I moved to Iowa last year, and then I looked up Xpedition, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they're 2 hours from me.
We're in Iowa.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to just chat with you for a few minutes and just get what's the mindset of Xpedition these days, and here, as you're putting these bows out on the market and things like that. So
A couple things. I mean, and like I told you, Sean, I mean, our goal is to keep the fact that we are a small town, Iowa-based company run by hunters.
Yeah.
Everyone here is tore up with bow hunting first. A lot of the guys are tore up with target archery.
yeah,
We feel like we kind of have, I don't want to say the perfect mix because I don't know if that's the
Sure.
right way to put it, but we dang sure have a good mix
Yeah.
of input in what we're doing, and you'll see it in our print ads, you'll see it in a lot of our advertising. We constantly talk about purpose-driven, and we mean that.
Yeah.
So we were just joking because Sean's going to take this beautiful new DLX home today, but
yeah,
as cool as this bow ended up looking, our first design concept wasn't, hey, let's have a cool looking bow, right? We wanted the function there, and the cool look is literally a byproduct of
Right.
the design.
Right.
So we like to think it's a win-win, but I mean, purpose-driven in the fact that everything on the bow and the way it's designed is purpose-driven to support you as a hunter, as a target archer, you name it. So.
Yeah. One of the things that I liked about it right away, so with the cams, you have the sliding limb stop.
Yep.
So what that enables you to do, and it is a hybrid cam system. So in order to get your perfect arrow flight, you set the draw length and everything, and then you actually are adding or removing twists to the cable to just modify the rotation of the cam, which is ultimately what gives you that perfect vertical arrow flight. And for me, as a long draw shooter, so 31, sometimes I shoot a 32, 31 and a half. So 31 inch draw though, your arrows have a lot more flex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for me as someone with long draw tuning was always very painful. You know what I mean? It's not as easy when you're dealing with a shorter draw length. So when I did that, and I slid the limb stop and did the cam, and one or two twists, and I was like hitting perfect knock travel, coming out of the bow. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So that design in itself I really liked. And you have a yoke system here. So with the right to left tear, it's a matter of adding or removing twist to one side of the other of the yoke, and your left to right's on. Once you just you're centering your rest. So tuning, purpose driven, I get it. As someone who plays and tinkers with bows, I like the fact that you have put the cage in there, because of course, I'm not a scientist to where I do analyzation on the riser flexing in the shot process, but just from reading about it, hearing about it in industry, I know that this adds stiffness and rigidity to the riser, and it just gives you a robust look.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It looks more robust as well, so pretty excited about that.
And you're hitting the nail on the head. I mean, our hybrid cam system's unique to us. And with that, I mean, somebody that's not familiar with the hybrid system, once you understand conceptually how to tune with this system, I would argue it's the most tunable system there is.
Yeah.
And obviously that goes both ways, because you can adjust it to your style, what arrow you're shooting to get perfect flight. But the one thing that we take a lot of pride in is our goal is when our dealers pull an Xpedition out of the box, that it's perfect relative to level knock travel.
Right.
That is the starting point for how the whole design works around it. So you achieve that, you can then make very modest tweaks, whether it's a half turn on a cable, literally a 1/32 move of that limb step. You can greatly affect percentage of let off, the feel, the valley. Incredibly tunable, I guess, is the whole point.
Yeah, and I shot these for a couple years, and then I had a company give me a binary cam system bow, and which again I was grateful, but I'll be honest, I had a hard time getting the tune with that bow that I was getting in a few shots. So, I'm not saying that because I'm sitting here next to you. I'm saying that because this is a factual personal experience that I had with them. So a couple things that I, at that time, would have liked to see differently was it was draw mod specific at that time. So I had to go out and buy mods. I bought the bow used, and then I had to go search for a place where I could buy the mods, get those. And then also I had to replace the strings and cables because the, what was the name of is it ATR? The ATR, the person I bought it off of, you had to really care for the cables properly in order for that to be an effective system, and that person didn't. So when it came to waxing the cables, you really had to work the wax into the cable. If it built up on there, it would start to cause friction.
Sure.
And that person didn't have it. So anyway, I had to replace the cables, and I was like, I wish there was some kind of like a roller system, which is what you have now.
Correct.
And you've gone to a adjustable draw length module on the cam. So those two things that I was like, I love this bow, but I wish these two things were a little different. It's like now they're different. So,
and it's, I mean, that's your personal experience, Sean. Like what we're really trying to do is make life easy for our dealers.
Sure.
You know, we don't sell consumer direct. So every bit of thought in design goes around what makes it easier for a dealer. What makes a dealer's life easy. And the first one's consistency, right? So once they understand the HDS system or our hybrid system in general, making a modification on a DLX is the same as making a modification on a 15 or a 16 or an Escape. So they have one process to learn, and with 5 inches of travel with a rotating mod, once you know the system, making a change is quick.
Yeah.
It's easy. And same thing, like you brought up the ATR, love it or hate it. Some people loved it because it was so simplistic.
Right.
But the downfall of it was, I mean, did it wear on the cables more than some systems? Sure it did.
Sure.
So, I mean, of course, we went to serving the cables. Now we're in a full roller bearing assembly where, in essence, cable wear should be as minimized as we can make it.
Yeah. So, what kind of for the average shooter, what kind of string life would they expect then with these modifications?
It's a fair question, and
it's a hard one too.
There's no perfect answer to that.
I mean, different
I would tell everyone, or what people need to understand is the bow at rest has a tremendous amount of load on the string because they're preloaded, right?
Yeah. That's where you get that curve. And
as you actually shoot the bow, it moves that load at almost double the rate onto the cables.
Right.
So the argument would become the more you shoot it, the more wear you're putting on your string and cables or your harness in general. That's factual, right? But our strings are all manufactured by gas bow strings. So it's basically the equivalent of having a custom string on from factory. I'd tell everyone if you're not sure about string and cable wear, visit with the professional. Get back to your dealer. Let them give you their opinion. I mean, I would say under normal use, a person should be able to get 2, 3, 4 seasons out of a harness, but it's different for everyone. There's no perfect answer to that.
And you're supposed to, there is general care with waxing and stuff that helps longevity, and not everybody does that. I just want to interject. Not only do they build all the Xpedition bows at this facility, and I got to do a tour of it, but they even have a full-fledged retail archery store on the front end of the building. Anthem Archery is there, and you can go and test out bows, buy bows. You can buy all kinds of archery and hunting equipment in that store because it's a full retail archery store, pro shop. So if you're ever driving through the area, make sure you stop in and try out some bows. And they carry more than just their own bows, more than just Xpedition. But Kurt, I want to thank you, first of all, for letting me come and shoot the bows today. And a super huge thanks for letting me take one home. I mean, guys and girls, whoever's watching, I shot, the lineup for this year. And this bow really kind of just caught my interest. I'm a long draw guy, a big guy, and I like a longer axle to axle just in general. I mean, everything about this kind of feeds into my personal preferences, but you also have option for the shorter axle to axle guy or girl and everything. But thank you first for letting me be here. Thank you again for this bow, which I'm gearing up for spring turkey. So I'm going to get this thing all set up for that and see if I can get myself a turkey with the bow this spring. But if you ever have a chance to check out some of the Xpeditions, I'll put a link for your website. There is a dealer locator on there. You can definitely look up your closest dealer, but it's worth checking them out. I've said this in other videos, and I'll say it again, in our country, we have great manufacturers that are putting out great products. You can't say anything bad about anybody because everyone's putting out good products. So it really is going to come down to personal preference. But this is a bow that I have liked, and I'll just throw it out there as a suggestion. If you're out shooting bows, pick up an Xpedition and see how you like it as well. So, Kurt, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and God bless.